What's up, everybody? Today I am talking to one of the most exciting middleweight prospects in the entire country. And on February 3rd in Philadelphia, PA, he will be headlining AOW Fighting 28 in a middleweight title fight against Mr. Greg Ellis. I'm joined today by Earl Trouble Small. Earl, thank you so much for being here, man. It's great that I finally get a chance to talk to you.
Tyler, my man, I appreciate it so much, man. Yeah, I'm very grateful. How you feeling, Bob?
Dude, I wanted to say a couple things. First and foremost, of course, Happy New Year and where you are at this point in your career. It's a very pivotal moment for you, 2023. You've been doing this for a very long time. And I think you're like flirting with like that upper echelon of like fighting for a major organization in the not so distant future. Can you tell me a little bit before we kind of like dive into what you've accomplished in the past? Can you just tell me a little bit, like when you look at this new year, what are some of your goals? What are some of the things that you're setting out to do? Because this is going to be an important year for you, I believe.
Well, we're gonna start it right off with going. This will be my first pro title with Art of War. Um, that's gonna be something I've never done before. I had some amateur titles, things like that. So starting off right from the bat with a professional title. I have had a lot of hints of moving on to the UFC. Bellator hits me up a lot for fights, but I really want to build that brand, build my brand in the UFC. I have had a few hints of me being on that radar, short notice fights, everything that I have accepted, but things just happen to not come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that might be what we're looking at here. Contender series, at least. I would love a short notice fight to just go out and debut, send it on a card anywhere in the world, in somebody's backyard, on an airplane. I don't give a shit. I'll fight. So hopefully this summer or closing at the end of 2023, we can make that a thing.
Well, you're very, very close. I think one of the things, like when I think about you, obviously I think of jujitsu right away, but I also look at like the 185-pound weight class, specifically in the UFC. I'm talking about the unranked guys. I'm just saying I can't think of too many off the top of my head that are as adept in jiu-jitsu as you are. I think that's a huge advantage for you right off the gate.
Mm. Yeah, there's a few big name jiu-jitsu guys that come to mind, and again, like you said, they're all pretty high level guys. Some world champions, like I think
Sure.
Adolfo Vieira is not a ranked guy. Um, I feel like I have a whole different style of jiu-jitsu, and it's just fun and funky. You're gonna see crazy high level subs, and if you're not on your P's and Q's, I'm gonna have a limb wrapped around your neck. So it's a fun style to watch.
You are a very fun and entertaining guy to watch. And I alluded to this early last year. I wrote an article about you. And like I really tried to like bring that out. I was like, this guy's fun. Like he makes me laugh. I'm excited to like watch him fight just because you don't know what's really going to happen next. And I feel like it probably works like to your favor to a degree, but it's also people have probably also busted your balls about it. And I always
Mm,
think that's kind of an interesting thing about regional MMA. It's like we like Showman, we like Israel Adesanya, and we like Nate Diaz and all that other stuff. That's fine at like the UFC level, but if you do it in the regional level, like
right.
we don't like that. Like, oh, this guy is this or this
It could be
guy's that.
cringy.
And I
Yeah,
just think I find it kind of like ironic because it's like the same people that would give you shit for in regionals, like they're gonna watch the UFC on Saturday and watch Conor McGregor do
right.
his shit, and it's the same thing. And I'm just like, make up your mind one way or the
Yeah,
other.
I understand because you're kind of being boastful, and if you're not that man or you're not at the pinnacle of the sport, then what are you boasting about?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not putting on an act. It's just me. I just am enjoying my life, and I'm having a great time fighting. I guess it's also a way to kind of deal with the nerves. It just kind of makes
Mm-hmm.
things normal for me to go out and make a funny ass face or stick my tongue out. And that's just me. Anybody who knows me in person knows I'm fucking nuts. And yeah, I guess it kind of helps with the nerves. It's not an act. I don't need pay-per-view buys or anything special.
Right.
I'm just crazy.
Well, I mean, but it's also one of those things, like, and when we talked about this subject, you said something to me that really like resonated, and I really thought about it, and it kind of, I would even go as far as to say, it kind of like changed my outlook on MMA in general. And it's like when you're in there, it's about like freedom of expression. You should be able to like be who it is that you are. And there's really no right or wrong way to do that. That's just highly personal, and that's like up to you. And they just it was just a different. I never heard an answer like that before, and I thought it was really unique and very like valid because I thought more and more about it, and I was like, yeah, he's right. Trying to like envision myself as you, like you're going out there for you. You're not going out there for like all the people in the stands that are watching you.
No doubt, Tyler. And you know what? It kind of branches off from me being an instructor. I work with a lot of children,
Mm-hmm.
kids that go through way worse shit than stepping in the cage, kids that have disabilities, kids that have had sexual abuse, serious things.
Mm-hmm.
And as a child myself, I try to be that person that I would want to be,
Yeah.
somebody that I needed looking up when I had to go through things. And it's cool, that old samurai way, traditional martial arts, like an iron, mental.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, that stuff's cool, but look, at the end of the day, man, I'm just fighting. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
going in there and sending it. And you guys see me outside of the gym. I'm a goofy dude. I'm sitting here like being silly with the kids. I'm gonna do
Right.
the same shit in the cage. It's me at the end of the day. If I win, I win. I lose, I lose. But I'm me.
Right.
And I understand a lot of these fighters. They're trying to be great. They'll mimic the greats, or they'll mimic something that they'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always have to do that, man. If you're a quiet guy, go out there, bow, shake hands, fight. If you're a weird dude, be weird. Enjoy yourself, man. You got one life.
I completely agree. And like one of the other things that I would say, like you talked about it, like that whole samurai way and stuff. And it's like, okay, well, those guys had to fight, right? Like
Right.
you don't have to fight, you get to fight. And I think that's a huge like differentiator.
Yeah, it's a privilege.
Right. No one's making you do it. Like you have to earn your way to do that. You have to like earn your way up to do this. And this is a sport. This isn't like, don't get me wrong, like it sounds cool to say, oh, we're going to war, but it's like, yeah, this is a sport.
No doubt. Yeah. I guess you're adapting that kind of. If it was real life, I would act this way. Like if I get in a street fight with somebody, I don't know, maybe I'd do some funny shit.
Right.
But I would probably be more serious and kind of watch my back and be a little bit more situational and have awareness.
Right.
Man, I got cameras on me. I got children at home watching me that look up to me, that they want to be me. They say, "Oh, Coach Trouble, I love Coach Trouble." They're writing things about me at school. Come on, man, I'm doing it for these kids. I'm telling them, you guys can do whatever you want and be who you want. So let's send it. Watch me.
Talk to me a little bit, Earl, about like being an instructor. You talk about the kids a lot. I know like your gym is like super important to you, and I see you on Instagram all the time going to these events. You talk about the kids that are under you, or just I think that's really neat because you don't often see fighters at your level that are competing yet also
Mhm.
coaching simultaneously. What has that experience been like for you, not only as a fighter but just as like as a human being, like being able to share your wisdom of martial arts with the new generation?
Tyler, I'm gonna break this down to you. There may be other fighters like me. I'm very different because I was raised into martial arts, like raised into fighting. I'm about to be 29 years old, born in '94, so I'm kind of right on that spurt of UFC
Mm-hmm.
just becoming a thing. Wasn't super popular. So when I started jiu-jitsu and I started this stuff, it wasn't popular. People still thought it was karate. They didn't know what it was. I was blessed to be able to participate in that at a young age, where now I can reap the benefits of it. A lot of these fighters were not doing this 20 years ago. They just weren't. Maybe they wrestled, but they weren't doing it
Mm-hmm.
in their early ages as an adolescent. I'm one of the few guys that was raised into this sport. Actually, nowadays there are some really younger. I
Yeah.
mean, we do see the 18-year-old in the
Yeah. Yeah.
UFC, so we are starting to see those guys. I'm in my 30s, and I'm saying, hey, I'm about to be in my 30s. I'm saying, hey, I was raised into this,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't do this for fun. Basically, I don't. I didn't watch UFC and say that guy probably gets a lot of babes. I want to be him.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
guy got a badass car. Shit, how's he act? What's he trained jiu-jitsu? I'm gonna follow him. No, I was born and raised into it, and I just admired the atmosphere
Mm-hmm.
and the men around me. I got to soak in that atmosphere, and it gave me life. I would not be the human being that I am if it wasn't for the humans that interacted with me as a teenager. Seriously, I wouldn't be shit, for lack of better words. man, I didn't go to school. I didn't have a great education. I'm
Mhm.
very good at anything I put my mind to, but these guys gave me life and gave me purpose. So that's more important to me than a title or damn, what car am I going to drive in Vegas when they pick me up, or what
Right.
celebrity is going to DM me when I get a blue check. Man, I'm changing children's lives. I work with adults who need help, people that have dealt with drug abuse,
Mhm.
depression. I'm working with these people, man. They love me. They love me, and I love them. And at the end of the day, everything else is extra. If
Mhm.
this whole world subsided, UFC was destroyed, MMA was outbanned, destroyed, something tragic happened. What it's going to come down to is who can fight and who has your back.
Mhm.
Fuck your car, fuck your shoes, fuck your expensive watch. That those things are what I value, and that's what makes me different, man. I'm a martial artist. I'm not a culture vulture.
I think it's like really interesting that you say that because like you're like probably the oldest guy that can like legitimately say like I came through this. You're like probably the very first one because it's new. Like we're starting to see this like new wave of people where Conor McGregor was like a big thing when they were in middle school. Now they look at that and back to what you're saying like, oh, what is this guy doing? I want to be like that guy. Well, when you were coming up, there really wasn't anyone like that. And then when I was coming up, you like MMA wasn't a thing. It was just called UFC, and that was a freak show. Like you look at
Yeah.
that and you're like, okay, how many ex-cons and fucking weirdos are doing this?
Yes.
And look at UFC 1, 2, and 3. That plays right into that stereotype because it was a complete shit show. It was a circus.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with like the product that we see today.
Regional MMA was so different. They were crazy. I remember being a kid, and there's crazy dudes that were like, "Yo, I want to be a fighter now." Like, it was a whole different scene. It wasn't cool. CFFC wasn't humongous. All these small LFAs, they weren't humongous. They maybe were in their first 20 shows. I've seen these things develop, and man, I'm just blessed. The the biggest thing of it all is, man, is there's culture vultures who see an opportunity now, just like in music, the music industry, just like in the cinema industry, anything. They see this and they say, an opportunity to get money, women,
Mhm.
whatever, man. And martial arts is so much more powerful than this. It's brought together so many different communities from all around the world, and it's the universal language. It's like everybody respects somebody getting punched and giving a punch, delivering a punch. Everybody knows that. So for me to be able to give back to the community is like, man, it's priceless.
My favorite fight of yours, for me anyway, was your most recent one. It was against David Gladfelter. That was a huge fight. And David Gladfelter, for people who don't know who that man is, I'll put it to you this way. If you go back on Fight Pass and you watch the fight, the whole fight, like the whole card, I should say, there's a scene of David Gladfelter like walking into the arena looking like the goddamn Terminator,
It's
and
fucking huge.
he's fucking huge and he's scary and like don't take this the wrong way, but he's the opposite of you. Like you come walking in like 5 or 10 minutes later, whatever it was, and it's just kind of like oh like that's like me walking into a grocery store. You look completely at ease like like you're just like it's another day like you're going into the gym for a sparring session and I'm just like wow like that it's just a completely different contrast of like two different individuals. And David Gladfelter, there were a lot of people. I put that article up about you and I got a bunch of DMs saying like oh your boy's gonna lose, your boy's gonna lose, and I'm like hey man, listen, David Gladfelter, he's a fantastic fighter. He is very very good. And I was just like, we'll see, man. David's a great fighter. We'll see. You go out there and put on what I thought was a completely dominant performance. This is my story. When I watched you fight, as soon as you took his back, I started calling my dog and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go take Molly. Molly's my dog's name. I'm gonna go take her for a walk. And my wife is looking at me and she's just like, didn't you write an article on this guy? And I was like, yeah, I did. And I'm getting ready. I'm like putting my coat on. I'm getting ready to go. And she's like, well, aren't you gonna watch the rest of his fight? I'm like, the fight's over. And she's just like, what are you talking about? I'm like, put it to you this way. As soon as I get to the door with my coat and my dog clipped in, the fight will be over. I'll bet
Yeah,
you on it.
you Mystic Mac. You
And
was
I'm
like, I know
telling you,
this.
like it happened. Like I felt so smart, and I just winked at my wife, and I was just like,
Yeah,
"I'm the."
told you.
I'm like, "I'm the
Yeah,
shit. I'm the
I'm
shit."
that guy.
Yeah. Like where was like that staged camera that was like hidden, and I could look cool and get like a million views or whatever. But like that's exactly what ended up happening. I'd love to get your perspective on it, though. I'm sure a lot more happened to that
Mm.
fight, and there was a lot more to it than what I saw.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. That story is that's funny. But first of all, when I seen Dave at the weigh-ins, I was like, damn, this dude's big as shit. And I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'3". I weigh in at 185. Cool. I'm looking up at this dude like, okay, let's go.
He's a big, big guy. Like
Yeah. I don't know how he
it,
made the weight. That dude was
no,
big.
I don't either. Like I looked at him. I'm like, this guy's a goddamn heavyweight. Like he's
Yeah.
fucking massive. And you're a big dude, but like Jesus, like there was a huge contrast between you two. I felt in the cage. Like it was just like
So
he just seemed like the Incredible Hulk in there,
yeah, so
and it
what's
was
good is
wild.
I train with pretty big dudes. My coach Tim Williams is a pretty big 85er, and I got him kind of retired where he's just yoked up and big as shit. So I made a comment after the fight saying that he was the I think I said the great value version of Tim Williams. Uh, and I didn't mean any disrespect. I just meant like Tim is the man. He's a UFC vet, big buff motherfucker. So my teammate, my coach is beating the shit out of me all the time. We're getting it the fuck in. I'm sorry, Dave. You're a scary dude, but I'm fucking with the South Jersey Strangler, Tim Williams. That dude is really scary. So you're gonna have to bring something else. The fight itself, though, I was like, kind of felt like I was just starting to get a little warm up. It was what, maybe 3 minutes in,
Mhm.
and he came out pretty aggressive, throwing a lot of kicks. But it was a perfect sequence of mine. I love that little trip. You play two ways. You're either gonna take the takedown or try to post and get up, and that gives me opportunity to the back. Um, I've been working on my striking for so long. You've seen it a bit in the Miles fight because we stood up a lot.
Mhm.
Um, I don't get to show my striking, and that makes me upset because a lot of the fans and stuff they be DMing me like, "Man, but is your striking good?" I'm like, "Yeah, but these motherfuckers keep letting me choke them."
Well, you know what? Even better though, because it's like if you can get to the less tape that's on you, the better.
Right. Yes. And I feel like people, and even my opponent, they just think like, all right, all we gotta do is defend this takedown, and you're gonna fuck them up with the hands. Man, they're gonna be upset. They're gonna be
But
really upset.
there's like one thing I thought that you demonstrated really, really well at CFFC 113. And this attribute stood out to me above all. And it was you were very patient, very, very patient. That was the thing that I saw the most. You didn't like rush anything, you didn't force anything. Like you let him come to you. And like I know, you're that is kind of more aligned with like your fight style. Like I think of like a great counter striker, but I also think of like somebody who's like very, very patient. And it's like, and I'll cut this out if you want me to, but it's like you like use your opponent's aggression against them, and
Mm.
their aggression is what puts them in really disadvantageous positions, and you capitalize on that every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say all that. It's not super strategic. These motherfuckers just let me put limbs around their necks. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I have had some spectacular submissions. The twister, flying triangles, like those come. All right, that's pretty spectacular stuff. The other ones are. I have a kimura. I have a rear naked choke. Another rear naked choke. I'm just getting a hold of these dudes, and not for lack of better words, I'm just molesting them. They can't stop me. I'm just overpowering them.
Okay, not talking about you specifically. I just want your opinion in general because me, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a cool black belt like you, but I want to get your opinion on this because it's like a controversial topic in MMA. You probably know what I'm going to ask you. Like heel hooks. People get really angry about heel hooks. It's not allowed in amateur MMA. And me being a non-jiu-jitsu guy, can you explain to me like why do people get so bent out of shape about that? Like, why is that like a taboo thing to do in the eyes of some fighters? Like, what's the controversy about that? It's just I understand I know the severity of it. I know, like, that's like a high injury submission, but at the same time, this is a high injury game filled with risks. So me being the layman, I look at it and I'm like, why is everyone so upset? I still don't understand. I
Right.
was hoping maybe you could explain that to me.
I think it's a pain threshold. So when you get put in other submissions with your arms and your shoulders, and even maybe like spine locks, maybe even knee bars, you feel a decent amount of pain. It gives you that opportunity to fight, fight, fight. Ah, okay, that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get put in a different kind of heel hooks, twisting heel hooks, there's not really a lot of pain. It's just a boom. Like it'll be a little bit of tightness, and then you're not going to walk for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So you are playing that game of when you put somebody in this move, you're controlling if they're going to walk for the next year or two, how long it's going to take for them to recover, if they're going to be able to, walk their kids down the aisle, or are they going to be able to train and feed their children.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why people do get upset, and it is a submission that if you're going to be training with your teammates, you got to kind of. I don't even finish it. I'm like, okay, I got it full. Do I even need to get that hand to tap my shoulder? No, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you're right. You signed that contract, buddy. Worst things can happen, man. You can put a scar on somebody's face. Yeah, you can cripple somebody. So I hope that enlightens you. People will get upset because you can you can ruin somebody, man. Nobody wants to come out of that cage and say, "Hey, you're not going to walk for the next 2 years," or
Right.
you're in your prime now. Well, we got to take 2 years off to recover, and then we're going to see how you are in 2 years if you
Mm-hmm.
still have it to go fight and make this money for your family. You've been training for 15 years, but whatever.
I also look at it this way though, like if I'm you, for example, and I'm trying to envision a world where it's like, okay, I'm the UFC fighter. You give me a heel hook, I'm fucking taking it because it's
Mm,
like my job is to win this fight. That's what I came in here to do. And hey, listen, like if I lock you in it, like you have your opportunity to get off the bus. I'm giving you that opportunity to get off the bus. But what happens, like that's not my fault. Like
right.
I'm here to win. Like we're not rolling, like we're not in a training environment. Like this is prize fighting and my job's to win. Like I know that sounds cutthroat, but your sport is cutthroat. This
Yeah.
isn't this isn't for everybody and it's kill or be killed.
So it's subjective, Tyler. So I agree with you. But it's subjective. So
Mm-hmm.
am I going to get the submission, crank it? Am I going to wait? And then it draws the line of, okay, well, if this is cutthroat, let me put my fucking thumb in your eye when I'm in top side control.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna win the fight. Let me put my thumb right in your eye socket.
Yeah.
It'll cause permanent injury. So
Mm-hmm.
it becomes that subjective, controversial. Where if this injury rates are really high, I would understand why they'll make it an illegal submission. I'll understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't think they're that high. You look,
No.
you got like, who's the Brazilian guy, Pala Harris, who was like hurting everybody, and then you got maybe like a Ryan Hall, who
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's hurting a ton of people. I think he might have hurt BJ, but it wasn't
Yeah.
intentional. So it's all subjective.
Yeah. Absolutely. It is completely subjective. But hey, listen, in professional mixed martial arts, in prize fighting, if you heel hook somebody, I'm not going to get mad at you. But then again, I'm not in the cage. Talk to me a little bit about your fight against Greg Ellis. This is another Tiger Schulman's guy. Your second one in a row. I know that they're a pretty big gym in like on the East Coast. I know you probably know a lot of their fighters. You've probably seen a lot of them before. Can you talk to me a little bit about Greg Ellis? Is this a guy that you know a little bit about? And can you tell me a little bit about how this fight came together?
Yeah, well, I study all my opponents, so maybe he studies me. Yo, what's up, Greg? Uh, I study my opponents. He was a former prospect,
Mm-hmm.
meaning he was undefeated 8-0 amateur, and then he comes out 4-0 as a pro. Damn, okay, 12 fights in a row, straight wins. That's very impressive. He starts to fight kind of Ultimate Fighter veterans, tries to make that step to say, I'm in this level. Goes on a little bit of a losing streak, goes back down, gets 2 more wins. So he has more fights than me, more experience than me, but we're almost on that same little level where he needs me to say, I just beat this prospect. I'm the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to beat similar prospect who has just as much experience. So as far as him as a fighter, I think there's a lot of fundamentals missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I could say the same where about Gladfelter, where that dude has a ton of wins, knockouts. My opponent has a ton of wins, subs, knockouts. But I'm just raised in this. I'm just a whole different tier.
Mm-hmm.
And I've yet to meet my match. And I just don't think it's going to happen with him either. Anywhere. Let's just make that clear. Striking, wrestling, grappling, looks, everything. I'm just on a whole nother level. So, and no disrespect. I'm not really a big shit talker. I'm a funny dude, but I just don't think Greg has it for me, and it's going to be a good win, my first title, and we're going to see what. Not going to look completely past him, but I think big things are going to be coming next.
Yeah, I completely agree. I look at Ellis, and it's one of those things where when I look at just all the other 85ers that he could potentially fight, I think you're the shark in the pool. And for him, number one, to even be willing to take this fight, like I want to make it perfectly clear, there are a lot of less technical, easier 85ers that this guy probably could have chomped at. He signed on the dotted line to fight
Yo,
you. I think
they
that
love
says a
me.
lot. I think it says a lot about Ellis too, because he's willing to take a hard fight. Props to him because a lot of
Yo,
guys would probably run away.
they don't think I'm a hard fight. I don't think so, man. They look at me like, yo, this little white dude, I'm gonna fucking all I gotta do is stop the shot and you're gonna fuck him up with the hands. And man, that's just ignorant. They just have no idea. And I think a lot of people have thought that about me. Maybe I think Wamsley, my first CFFC fight as a professional, I think he may have thought he was actually a great grappler. He's a black belt over there at a great school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that they think that like this guy can't fight. That's why he subs everybody. He's don't have that dog in him. No, I'm sorry. They just give me their necks. I'm not desperate for it. It just happens. So he took this fight probably thinking he can get a dub. But I agree with you. There are other fights out there that may make more sense. Um, if I may intervene, I know you didn't ask this question. I also do. I had the offer for the CFFC
Mm-hmm.
belt. I wanted that too. I really, really wanted that. But
Mm-hmm.
after talking to my management, my team, they were like, "Look, Earl, I had 3 fights in 3 years at Cage Fury.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. What if I did that again? You know what I mean? 3 more fights. You know, God, I'm gonna be fucking 33 years old. I'm gonna have a gray Gandalf beard. Dana's not gonna want to fuck with me. My tattoos are gonna be faded. Um, so it's like they're gonna offer me that, but I gotta sign another 3 fight deal. When am I gonna fight again? Who knows? I really wanted that with Beard because I feel like I'll dust him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that guy as a shit talker. I feel like he's another dude that doesn't have it all. He just doesn't have it all together, and he has a great record, and he's a tough motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
But
is.
so maybe, man, hopefully, I'm gonna manifest this with you, Tyler. I hope I beat this dude, and somebody gives me a call and says, "Yo, you and Beard are gonna hook it up at the Contender Series, or you and Beard are gonna be on an undercard of the next UFC." And that's a fight that I want.
I would love to see it. Beard's been on my show. Donovan's a great guy, but I would also look at it this way: it's a great fight. That's an exciting one, and that would put asses in seats. I sure as hell would watch it.
Yeah, man, I wish I had those 5 rounds against Miles. I'm just gonna say that. I don't think Beard's gonna go 5 rounds grappling with me. I'm gonna get something around his neck.
I want to see like in 2023, like we're primed, like we got a full year, and there's also some freedom going on your end of it because if you don't have a multi-fight deal anywhere, you have that ability to kind of like pick and choose like where you want to go and to know that like, hey, beyond February, like you're free. So if PFL calls, if Bellator calls, or if the UFC calls, you have the opportunity to like grab one of those fights if it's a compelling offer. That's got
No
to feel
doubt.
nice.
Man, somebody send me some money, send me to an island, send me to a different country, something. I will do funny ass shit. I'll make funny ass commentary. I'll do a crazy submission, a great. I'll do what I gotta do. I'm not a complete whore, but I'm gonna please the crowd. Promise. So somebody send me some money. We're gonna get it cooking.
Hey, well, I think that it's only a matter of time. I expect big things from you in 2023. Earl, before I let you go, first and foremost, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time. I know your fight's not that far off, and this is probably like the cutoff for when I like to talk to fighters before their fights, because I know you got a bunch of other stuff going on. I know you got a big cut, but can you tell me a little bit, like the people that help support you and all the other good people and supporters that are out there? If you need to shout those people out, I'd love for you to have that opportunity before I let you go.
Let's go. This is so important. Don't click off the video. When I'm watching, this is normally I'm like, oh, I don't care who he's talking about. Look, my team is the biggest, most important people to me. If you guys want to go somewhere, find people that love you, find people that care about you. Genuinely, nobody around me wants any money from me. They don't want anything from me but to see the best me. Surround yourself with people like that, and you will always be happy. My instructors, Phil, Ricardo Miglioris, my strength and conditioning coach is a huge one. Eddie Hall, so he is the absolute man. My MMA coach, Tim Williams, he be beating the shit out of me. One day I'm gonna get him back. Sooner than later, I'm gonna fucking whoop his ass. My whole team at 302 BJJ, man. Thank you all. Thank everybody from. If you ever met me, slapped my hand, said what's up to me. If you hated on me and sent me that miserable energy, I converted it. Thank you so much. God bless you. I hope you find peace.